Hi, I'm Phoenix Henry. My interests in this channel are on spirituality, human relations, and social issues, where I'd like to cover topics on dealing with grief and pain, love, courtship, marriage, parenting, and many other situational issues which make our lives fully challenging, completely meaningless, hideously exhilarating, and colorfully maddening. You may have noticed that I used paradoxes in that last statement, and that's because life is just like that. It's a paradox. Life is full of contradictions. We often get confused and get lost even in our own stances. The same is true in Christianity or any religion for that matter. We so oftentimes encounter seemingly illogical circumstances in our everyday lives. However, it is those challenging situations that make our lives full. The meaninglessness of our lives lead us to discover significance. Those which exhaust us make our lives exciting, and the madness simply gives color to our existence. The problem is, many are lost in the conundrum, and for that reason, of course, not to mention the inconsistencies, absurdities, puzzlements, or whatever we call them, I came up with this video blog, which I actually have been putting aside for many years. So just a little background about why I'm so passionate about this. I have been a church leader for nearly 2 decades, and I have assisted and led a number of ministries and activities. I dealt with children, teenagers, young adults, and adults. As a young mother and solo parent, I came to realize that I can't be there for my kids 24/7, and I definitely can't teach them everything they need to know about life and living. So, I ministered to people of various ages whom God allowed in my life. And every time, it has always been my prayer that whenever and wherever I can't be there for my kids, the Lord will provide teachers or mentors in my stead, as I am doing to the people I am reaching out to. As the years went by, a lot of crazy things happened in my life and my kids' lives, but surprisingly, we all came through sane and whole. Also, I noticed that I was seemingly attracted to troubled kids, out-of-school youths, spouses going through challenging times, and young mothers facing various challenges. Many times, it's the other way around. Even during my down seasons, when I don't really feel like mentoring or encouraging someone, they come to me for the simple support I could offer. So, for years, I have been trying to figure out what I really wanted to do and how to do it. Writing is a no-brainer answer because, well, I'm a writer. But the more distinct reason actually is that in June of 2006, I had a vision of a book, and I had that strong impression in my heart that one day I'll be writing books. At that time, I was engaging in whatever means there was for me to be able to help put food on the table. I had no idea about book publishing or even just writing one. I wasn't computer literate. I didn't even have an email address then. But then, an exhilarating life happened, and I self-published my first book on writing in 2015. A year after, I published my first novella, which is culture-based. In 2017, I published 2 other culture-based novellas during the second quarter, and on the last quarter of the same year, I self-published my 2 self-help books. But my heart was really on spirituality and the many subtopics under it that includes pragmatic Christianity, which I'd really love to deal in detail in succeeding videos. However, for the past years, I wanted to focus on storytelling because it is really something that I love to do. And the Philippine government is into this culture and indigenous people's thing, especially in the education department. So, I thought it was a nice place to stay in because I'd be a part of the pioneers. I mean, culture and IP education basically are developing themes in the Philippines. Anyway, during the start of this year, I suffered from chest pains. I had my checkup and all, but the problem was I can't even sit for even 10 minutes. I easily get tired, so I spent more than 6 weeks recuperating. All the while, I was thinking of topics for my videos and pondering on how to approach my stories in my next book and how to record my writing modules. Right before the lockdown in March, I reckoned I was already strong enough to travel to visit my granddaughter before I resumed with my writing. It was supposed to be just a 2-day vacation because I already have a long to-do list, but on the eve of my travel back home, a full lockdown for Luzon was declared and my 2-day vacation turned into 2 months. During that time, with no writing and video creating to think about, I thought a lot about what I was missing in my writing and all, but it was futile putting my thoughts and energy on something I can't do at that time. So I had a lot of time to reevaluate what I was doing. At this time too, I have this friend who kept nagging me about writing a self-help book, claiming that I can help more people by doing so. Actually, she's been doing this for quite a while now, but I always ignored her. Still, perhaps because I had a lot of time in my hands to do nothing but think during the lockdown, her words finally crept in. This person actually is my mentee, and that's how we became friends. Moreover, another friend visited me on February this year, and she's been in my thoughts and prayers all the while because she's actually one of the confirmations for this thing I'm doing now. So I thought long and hard about these things, and I figured I can work my schedules around the 3 genres I'm writing on. So when I came home, I set to work on my writing projects. I went over my notes and found a list of book titles and drafts. Currently, I'm finalizing Broken Hallelujahs with the subtitle Praising When Your World is Crumbling, wherein I, as the title suggests, endeavor to speak about grief, suffering, healing, and faith. In relation to the book genre, this channel actually aims to reach out to people who are struggling and needing help, encouragement, guidance, inspiration, or perhaps just a platform to share their views. So, just to give you a glimpse of what contents will be posted on this channel, here's a lesson on thankfulness based from Jane Kenyon's poem, Otherwise. Otherwise by Jane Kenyon. I got out of bed on 2 strong legs. It might have been otherwise. I ate cereal, sweet milk, ripe flawless peach. It might have been otherwise. I took the dog uphill to the birch wood. All morning, I did the work I love. At noon, I lay down with my mate. It might have been otherwise. We ate dinner together at a table with silver candlesticks. It might have been otherwise. I slept in a bed in a room with paintings on the walls and planned another day. But one day I know it will be otherwise.
Here, Jane Kenyon speaks about thankfulness and appreciation of the present and the life that it has to offer. The words are simple and they clearly reflect the attitude of the speaker who is ever appreciative of the life that today has brought. The poet acknowledges and welcomes life no matter how simple and seemingly insignificant the things it brings, because as she mentions, it could have been otherwise. Throughout the poem, she expresses that the life she enjoys should be dealt with to the fullest because she has been blessed. Otherwise, she could have died. Although the negative connotation is not explicitly expressed in the poem, there is the resounding acknowledgement of its inevitability. Simple as it is, the poem also deals with a very common and simple theme.
Life is difficult, I know. However, That doesn't mean it's a good reason for us to sulk in self-pity or whatnot, because in the midst of all these difficulties, there are always good things we can look forward to. In my next 5 to 7 videos, I'll be talking about grief and redirecting suffering to something beautiful, which I hope will be of help to someone, especially during these difficult times. So I hope you'll subscribe to this channel and look forward to upcoming videos. Bye!